What's going down, everyone? And if you're here for the news, you're going to be really surprised with this really cool snippet in the very beginning of something glitching out. Surprise, surprise. Borderlands 3 glitching out? Who would have known? But we're going to get down to why it's glitching out in these situations, even if it is some anti-gravity stuff that even Claptrap's will of his last kind can't even save us with. The new patch is going to cover a lot of stuff, but it is kind of a hot fix. But with that being said, and us transitioning back, now we have some situations that rise. We can go ahead and select into our Borderlands, which you can see in the overlays in the situation for what we would have in the PlayStation 4. And we can go right over there and you can see right here that, I can start it. Yes, but that's not going to tell me much after it gets past this little boot screen of me not going back. And again, I've heard Xbox and PC, which would be Epic, unfortunately, that have these situationable points already patched as of today's patch, which we should have gotten into, but PlayStation I'm waiting for. I was hoping right around 9 we'll see the click over. Hasn't exactly came through yet, and you can see if you can check your history. And this is just a brief breakdown of what you can and can't do in order to physically be able to, get to your portion of it. But with the overlay and the situation already at hand and what you can see going on, you can see right here that we have our portionable point of what's going to happen. Now, if it's your first patch ever, you might want to maybe take a breather, and this might be your situation right here. I hate to say it, but this might be the one point you actually physically go, oh no, what's going to happen here? But who knows? The situation at hand, we may not have to respect, but there's a lot of people that are not happy with this whole equation running around. But let's not scare everyone in that situation. Let's go ahead and get back into the situational point of what we will be doing in the consistency of being able to drop down what we want inside of a overlay. Now let's get to the patch. Now we're already directly inside of these standpoints and what we want to get into. So we're going to try to bring up our portionable point of the informationable point of news, which I'm going to say is pretty much a hot fix, but let's go ahead and dive directly into it. As you can see, I've already brought up on the overlays and the situational point at hand. Now, with that being said, and everything directly inside of there already being ready at hand, you can already see past what we've already dived into with is the hot fix on today's. Now, going a little bit deeper into it with the bugs, what they were trying to being able to, they are aware of the list down below, which is the yellow paint has been added to the marsh fields to mark a moving obvious path to complete the sabotage crew challenge. The new U stations in front of the Halcyon spaceports used during the laser tag mission, which was a really fun mission. That actually is one that I played myself a couple times, which came in pretty well. Now, looking past that situation, and we see that the Titan Gate at the Atlas missions in the Mediant, basically in your Metroplex, now has a larger activation range. So it's they're going to be able to let us play the game a little bit more breathing. And I don't think that this is going to be a major patch. We'll be seeing a lot more major patches roll out later on down the road. I hope, and maybe that's where we'll be seeing. But then again, I'm still holding my breath for the Sinking City to patch some shit, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But the first Guardian a player runs into during the beneath the Mediterranean missions is no longer over leveled. The chest by the Gerdo in the Jacob's estate is no longer invisible. Oh, cool. So they're fixing some stuff. But for the balances, the iridium crystals grow less frequently. That sucks. They're basically trying to cut down on the farmers. Instead of fixing their game, they're cutting down on the farmers, which I can see why a lot of people would get a little salty. Personally, myself, I wouldn't be happy at that at all, because I would be like, why are we doing this? Why can't you just give us what we want in that situation? But I don't know. Sometimes, in the overlays of what we get into, we just don't really get to see the overbalances of what we really want. But going down past that portion to what they've scaled and the loot drops and the mayhem modes. The torque shotgun sticky damage has been reduced, so it's no longer, it's been nerfed basically at that point in time, what we basically saw into gameplay. It's dropped too much of its hard-earned loot. If you got the lovely portion of this. Now, a lot of these are spoilers. I do want to mention, you know, if you are venturing into this and you don't know what these are, I'm not going to spell it out for you, but understand that these are spoilers directly coming from the Reddit site. Just the spawn rates and the loot and the tinks and the masons, they are special again. Oh, yay, they always were special. And then removed a pain sounds from the Troy of his boss fight. So I guess they thought it was a little too much. But the hotfix applies to the game menu. When you are in the start, you to assure the hotfix has been applied, go to the in-game menu if there's an update showing available. Now again, that's probably more likely your PC directly overlays and what you're getting into. Now one more thing I wanted to point out that for me was a huge bug, and we'll go ahead and go directly over here back to where I am going to go ahead and show everyone. There was a gun that was completely not able to show itself, which I thought was hilarious in the situation when we came into the gameplay of what ended up happening. So let me go ahead and see if I can just pull this up directly, and then everyone can see exactly what I'm talking about. You can see right here, you'll see where Meat Thief is supposed to have a gun, and then out of nowhere, he doesn't. You just see a waving gun in the background past Claptrap. And it happens a few times. I noticed a few times my buddies and I were playing it, we pointed out the situation of what ended up happening. But you can definitely see, for as far as what the hot fixes have brought into gameplay is that we need a better fix. We don't want a whole bunch of stuff of us losing a whole bunch of our hard-earned gameplay into the situation where we're no, we don't want this. We want gameplay, we want Borderlands, and we want a UI that works, that you can just play where you don't have to play it just by yourself. I noticed that the UI overlay and functioned way better when playing by myself in the FPS I was getting. Otherwise it would look very slow, and I even got a few comments on my gameplays where people were yeah, it really was looking slow. So I appreciate the feedback, but yeah, I've noticed that anytime I played with 4 people, that's where this bug occurred, where you can definitely see where the situation where we're all running towards a situation of going oh my god, no. But yeah, besides that point of what we actually have and what we're kind of getting into gameplays of what we're simmering down to, let's go ahead and pull back up what we have here in the situational point of the patch. Now, with this already being pretty much almost up to an end, I have the official one, which I'll link again, which is this right here. A lot of people are on this forum where the original post was lifted, and you can see that came from Gearbox itself. So this is your news. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're new to the network, you can always hit a like, share, and subscribe. And if you do, who knows, maybe Craig will come back. And Psycho Craig and I will go on an adventure in a bloodthirsty vengeance point to get this patch workable. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get past the hotfix pretty soon, but for our PlayStation tiers that are just like me, that are on the outskirts of the gearbox, we need to kind of wait a little bit. But PC seems like Epic probably got the pass because it is Microsoft, and so did Xbox. But besides the prioritization of patches, eventually maybe we'll get filtered to a better patch, and or just a little on down the line. I'm hoping around 9 o'clock we might see it filtered directly in, and I'm going to check one more time just to see if it actually boots up before ending this patch. It doesn't seem like it has, so we'll get ours pretty soon. I'll see you guys and gals in the near future, and have a very nice day.